You would think installing a wall mount fan is pretty straightforward, right? Well, yes and no. If you are thinking along the lines of drilling holes on a wall, mounting the wall fan with screws, plugging it to a power outlet and switching it on, then it's a yes. But if you want to install a wall mount fan perfectly, then there's a few more steps you ought to do. Hey there, this is HanDIYman 007, and in this video, I'm going to show you steps and tips on how to properly install a wall mount fan, including how high should it be from the floor and making it blend better with your wall. Let's begin. The greatest strength of wall fans is that they have zero footprint. Unlike stand fans and desk fans that take up real estate on your floor or table, wall fans don't. So if you need to ventilate a tight area like a small bedroom, office, or dining room, wall fans are great space savers. Also, if you have kids who might play with potentially dangerous appliances in the house, wall fans are a safer option because they are harder to reach and cannot be knocked over like stand fans. However, a wall fan's greatest strength can also be its greatest weakness. Obviously, once a wall fan is mounted, you cannot just move it to a different position as easily as a stand fan or a desk fan. Thus, it is crucial that when you do install one, it is in the perfect spot. And where is the perfect spot? Well, I can tell you right now, it isn't necessarily at the center of a wall. Let me explain. In mounting a wall fan, there are two things and only two things to consider: its horizontal position or its position across a wall, and its vertical position or how high the fan is from the floor. Ironically, these are the same two things some people struggle with because of two reasons. One, they see the wall fan as an ornament or decoration instead of being first and foremost a functional appliance. So they get caught up in the idea that the fan should always be perfectly centered so it looks good. And two, they are restricted by the insufficient length of the fan's power cord. So they end up sacrificing the optimal position just because the fan needs to be low or high enough for its power cord to reach the nearest power outlet. And this is the perfect opportunity to show you a proper installation because it's about time to replace this 14-year-old fan with a new one. Why? Because its motor isn't producing sufficient speed anymore. Its pull cord snapped a long time ago, its oscillation has become erratic, and its housing has discolored from white to an ugly yellow. In other words, instead of spending money to do multiple repairs, it has become more practical to replace it altogether. Give me a few seconds to unmount this old one and prepare the wall surface for our new one. And this is the new fan we're going to install. But before we get too excited drilling new holes on the wall, let's analyze the mounting system of this specific brand and model. As you can see, it has two mounting holes and the mounting plate is integrated with the body. And if we look at other brands and models, the mounting system can be similar, but some may have just one hole instead of two, while others will have a hidden angled mounting plate that you have to screw on the wall first before you can hook or hang the fan later. But regardless of the mounting system, the perfect wall placement should be based on the fan's horizontal and vertical range in respect to where people will be in the area it is supposed to ventilate. In this bedroom, for example, it makes sense that the fan is at the corner because it's the spot nearest the bed, and the height is just right for the fan to blow air at someone who is lying on the bed. But you might be asking, won't it be a struggle for a person to switch the fan on or off since it's at the far side of the bed? Well, that's true. That's why for this bedroom, we installed a remote-controlled fan. In a dining area like this one, we need to position the fan in such a way that it is able to deliver air to everyone around the table while seated. To accomplish this, I pulled all the chairs a foot away around the table to simulate where people will be at during a meal. Finding value from this video? Hit subscribe and the bell icon to get notified of new uploads. Thanks! Then I take out the front grille and the blade and just leave the rear grille so that the entire assembly is lighter to carry and set flat on the wall. In this angle, the dining table is on my left and I constantly check where the chairs are at, making sure that the nearest and farthest chairs fall within the fan's tilt range. This visual check gives me a general idea whether I should raise or lower the fan. Once we get to the correct height, just mark where the mounting holes are. As for the horizontal position, I ran the fan off camera and let it oscillate, and this is the spot where it can swing from side to side, hitting opposite ends of the dining table. Different brands and models will have different tilt and oscillation ranges, some narrower than others, so it's very important to do these steps so that after everything has been said and done, the fan will blow air where it matters the most. Now, in this video, I won't elaborate on drilling the mounting holes since I do have a separate video on 9 power drill tips and tricks for concrete you should know that you may want to watch later. I'll put a link on the upper right, or if you don't see it, check out the links in the description below. Anyway, once I have secured the mounting screws, I hook the fan by its mounting holes and proceed to tighten the screws snug. At this point, it's pretty obvious that the secret to hiding or blending the power cable into the wall is to run it through PVC moldings. Details on how to do this step by step is included in another video where I installed a home theater in our garage. Again, I'll put a link on the upper right, or if you don't see it, check out the links in the description below. How do we make the power cord reach the nearest outlet if it isn't long enough? The simple answer is we extend it. To do this, we cut 6 to 12 inches from the plug. Strip the 2 wires inside the main insulation on the fan side and connect additional wiring. Now before cutting and connecting the other end of the additional wiring to the wiring of the plug side, let's snap on the PVC molding covers so we get a more accurate length. Now we can do the connection on the plug side. Finally, we can install the rest of the fan parts. Tighten the tilt adjustment bolt, switch on the fan, and press the oscillation knob to make it sway. Now, we have a wall mount fan whose horizontal and vertical position is optimized to deliver air where it matters, and a power cable cut to the perfect length while blending in with the wall. So, if you are going to install a wall fan, you now know how you can mount it in the ideal spot every time. This is HanDIYman 007, and you can do this.